Hi, I just wanted to do a quick edit or adjustment to something I made, a comment I made in another video that I just posted a couple days ago. I made, I was being kind of flippant about the sexual identity versus sexual preference thing. About if I identify as a man and I'm in love with a man, therefore I'm gay. I wanted to clarify that really quick that it's not as simple as that. That's that was a very I was upset and I was trying to kind of break it down into something, core. I don't know. That's not really what I was. Point is it's an individual thing. It's completely based off of how you feel and the relationship that you have with your partner and so on and so forth. And even my sexual identity isn't that simple. I do identify more as bisexual because I have dated women, and I wouldn't be against dating a woman down the road if that would be what fate would be destined to do. Sorry, I have Arkham here today. um, just because I wanted to do a real quick thing just to explain some of that because I feel I feel by doing that I labeled the other person as well, and I don't have any right to do that. That's his personal gig. It's an individual thing for each person, how they see it, and the relationship that you have. And for, like, say, me and a person that I would, if I were to be in a relationship with someone, and I'm not saying this is hypothetically the next person I have a relationship with, kind of thing. I don't want to get trying to be really, really ambiguous here. But given the fact that I'm only doing partial transition and some of my lower half is going to stay the same on a certain level, that would be on a intimacy level, that to me changes a little bit of the ball game. So it's not as simple as I identify as male and he's male, therefore we're gay. No, it's not as simple as that. It's I don't know specifically why I feel like I identify more as gay. Um, I don't know. Maybe I have a problem with the word bisexual because um, for a while there, it just seemed like people thought it was cool to be bisexual, so they would just say that they were. Or I don't know. I just I slightly have a problem with that. Just I don't know why, but part of me is. But I mean, I've dated women. I'm not against dating women. I guess partly because in my mind, again, if I identify as a guy and I date a woman, then that wouldn't that be me being straight? But how can you be gay and straight at the same time? I don't know. You know, when it all comes down to it, I just wish there really wasn't labels and stereotypes. And I mean, can't I just be me? Can't I just be whatever the hell it is that I am? Why do I have to have black, white, Mexican, Christian, Buddhist, gay, straight, whatever. Why do we have to have all that? I don't understand that. And it really kind of bothers me because it's like the moment you put those words out there, there are people that will immediately shut their brains off because either they're incredibly racist or they're homophobic, like the kids that I had to run into. Um, it just causes so much more problems than I feel it actually does. I can't figure out what good it does. So if you guys have any ideas on that one, go right ahead and tell me because I haven't figured it out yet. And I had a teacher once tell me, try to give me a justification for stereotypes, and I've never felt real comfortable with it. I'm trying to figure out exactly what he said, and this is total paraphrasing, but the gist of it was that have to use stereotypes are there because if you meet somebody and you have to size them up and judge them before you know anything about them, the stereotypes will help you um, be able to make decisions. I don't get that. It's not like um, the only thing I can associate that with is like there's been a couple times when I've gone to vote that I wasn't as up to par with the local um, voting stuff as I was with the higher up, like the president and things like that. So the fact that they had them listed as Republican or Democrat did help me make a decision on whether or not I would vote for them based on my personal preferences. Because even though I don't identify as a Democrat, they generally have more liberal points of view, and I tend to side with the liberal point of view most of the time. Not all the time. I mean, it's not that's not 100% guaranteed, but it did help me make a decision on who to vote for because I just didn't want. I mean, you can't leave it blank. You really gotta. And I didn't want it. My biggest beef is an uneducated voter. So I didn't want to make an uneducated vote and just guess and mark people down. So the fact that they had that listed really helped. But that doesn't really size up to what he was saying. That you meet somebody and you to be able to size them up and know who they are or know like whether or not they're safe or not. All these stereotypes come into it. Just because someone's black doesn't mean I mean I don't feel any less safe standing next to a black guy than I would a white guy. I mean, if you want to get into it, like most serial killers are middle-aged white guys. you know, it coming from my own history, every single person that sexually assaulted me was white. I mean, it just doesn't. That game doesn't play very well to me. I don't get it. And gay people aren't these pedophiles that are out to seduce your children and so on and so forth. So I don't understand the concept of having to have all these labels. I going from being role playing as a guy and passing as a guy on that level and everybody treating me as a male and respecting my intellectual, I'm a book nerd and so on and so forth. So there was a respect level of the fact that I was well read. But the moment that they found out that I was a girl, I was immediately stupid. And they didn't want to listen to what I had to say, and I was immediately blown off. And I have this, I've experienced this my whole life, but it's a little different when you actually are able to live the other side for a while and see how much of a difference that you are treated. I mean, it's just, it really is mind blowing how different you're treated. I mean, I hate being treated like a woman. I hate it. Like, I just can't stand it on so many levels. But part of it, like, I grew up in a hot rod family. I know cars really well. I've built houses with my dad. I know a lot of stuff that is more on the masculine side. And, I go to a car lot looking to buy a new car or whatever, and or going to the car mechanic, which is the one that just really drives me crazy. Because I can do all that. I used to be able to do all that stuff myself. I just can't do it now because of the physical aspect. It's not because I don't know how. It's just physically I can't do it. But they treat you like you're a complete idiot and you don't know what's wrong with your own car when you go in there and go, "Oh, my radiator's busted." They're like, "Oh, well, we gotta do a whole check to see what's wrong with your car." It's the fucking radiator. See all that green fluid underneath the car? That's radiation. I mean, like that's the radiator fluid. That's right there. There's this huge fucking puddle under the car. What do you think that is? And then they call me back and go, "Oh yeah, your radiator's busted." No shit. Wow. Thanks. Tell me something I didn't know. Fucking idiots. I just hate it. I got so bad that I'd actually have my guy friends call around to car places just so they could hear a masculine voice, and I would just give them all the questions to ask the guys, just so it wouldn't have to be going through all of this. Well, we have to check it first and see if that's really what's wrong. I know what's fucking wrong with my car. I know my car. I mean, Christ, it. I know my fucking wear on my own car. This is gonna die. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.